this clip, I really wanted to spend some time on how to navigate SPSS in ways that will help you generate reports in useful format. So again, I'm not really focusing on statistics yet. I'm simply focusing on ways that you might use SPSS and navigate it to generate reports for your organization or in your role or for specific tests that you run. The two most important ones that I'm going to emphasize first are under data. When you clicked on data, sometimes I don't want to analyze teachers from all 5 school districts that are in this state. I might only want to analyze Nashville teachers. So what you have to do is you say, with my data, I want to go down to the very bottom and I want to select just some cases. And what will come up is this box to the left with all your variables. And the variable that I'm interested in right now, it's selecting all cases, all teachers, all 5 districts. I'm not interested in all 5. I'm only interested if they're a teacher from Nashville. So I go down under all cases and I select if a condition is satisfied. And I go under that and I find the site, the city, and I say site equals 3 because I know a value of 3 is all teachers from Nashville. Site equals 3. Continue. Okay. And if you don't get error messages in the output, then it works. And if you go to data view and you just scroll down, you'll see all these teachers from Nashville, site 3, they don't have a little cross line through them. But if I go further in the database, whatever site 1 was, St. Louis in this particular case, I've X'd them out. So right now, all I'm doing is I'm analyzing one set of teachers. So now I'm going to make it a little more complicated. And I know that St. Louis is District 1. And I'm going to want to do something with only St. Louis and Nashville teachers. So I'll go to Data, I go to Select, if site equals 3, or I'm just clicking on the variable and it can move over, or I could type it directly in this box. I could type equal, or I could select equal from this keypad. Site equals 1. Okay, continue. And notice how now site 1 doesn't have these X's through it. But if I scroll down to 2, 4, and 5, they would be. So in my sample that I've selected, I've only selected 2 districts. That data select is really important. Otherwise, you'll be manually deleting files pretty consistently. That takes a lot of time. So that select rule is going to be used throughout this class. I'm going to spiral different skill sets, if you will. It's going to be a spiraled instruction. So when we cover t-test, because I really want you to know how to select certain parts of the larger database, I'm going to say, not simply is there a difference between the 2 means, I might say, is there a difference between test scores of 5th grade students in St. Louis and Nashville, so that you'll have to select them. It's not only knowing that you would need to run an independent sample t-test because you have 1 variable, test scores, and you have 2 groups, 2 different school districts. So it's spiraled. We'll get more familiar and comfortable selecting various portions of the database and variables to analyze. Really important. The next thing that I think you need to be able to do is you should always remember to go back and take off the selection. If you leave it on and you think you're running your analysis with your entire database, you're not. You've got it on who you had selected most recently. So I'm taking off all students. I just went back to select, again, drag down, clicked, all cases. Okay. The next function that I think is really important is called splitting the file. And what splitting the file does is it allows you to generate a report for all of the colleges in your university separated out, or all of the degrees in your university, or all the departments. So what I'm doing is I just go up and I select split file and I do compare groups, and I move it to the groups I want to compare. I want to compare school site. Remember, I've got 5 districts: Parkway and Rockwood, which are suburbs of St. Louis. Then I have St. Louis, Nashville, and Cincinnati. So I'm going to split my outputs, and I'm going to compare whatever variable I look at by site. So I just go up to OK. For easy comparisons here, I'm just going to go over to descriptive statistic, and the first one I'm going to scroll down to is size of the class that you teach this year, and I'm going to move that over. And normally, if I clicked OK, I would get a mean for everyone in my sample. But remember, I split it by the 5 different districts in this database. So what happens is, I run the report, and now I've got the average class size for each of the 5 districts in one table. And I could just eyeball in and go, for whatever reason, St. Louis has lower class sizes than the other 3 groups. These run instantly. I could have done the same thing for every school in the district. I could do it for every student in a particular college with a particular major, all first-gen students, all Pell eligible students, and I could also sort these means in order from high to low.